Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today we are bringing you along. Lower the radio down. We are bringing you along. We have an unbelievable day. We're pulling our crab traps. Really nearing the end of the season. We got 1 week left. Next weekend I'll be out 2 days in a row, and bring the last of all the traps that we have out in the water. But today I'm here with my son. And we're going to pull all of them, and we are bringing back 34 or 35 of them. I can't remember exactly. Got it written down here. But we're starting from the south, so we'll be starting this morning, picking up everything, and we're trying to get as close to the north to try to burn less fuel on the last two trips, because the reality of the last two trips, I'm going to have a lot less quantity of traps in the water, so we're definitely not going to be able to cover expenses. But we got a beautiful day today, 4-mile-an-hour winds. We are almost to our first buoy, and hopefully we get to bring you in here and show you catching some crab. It's been deathly slow. This is one of the worst seasons that the guys have had. This is our first season doing commercial stone crabbing. Been extremely slow, horrible season. But hopefully today we're hoping to get a little bit of crab because all the lobster traps are already out of the water. The lobster season runs till March 31st, and then they get 10 days, I think it's 10 days, 5 or 10 days after the season's over to get all the traps out of the water, but they can't harvest lobster. But here where we have our traps, we are inundated with lobster guys around us. So we are hoping now all the lobster traps are gone. You know, in theory, you would think that if there's any crabs that are walking through here, you're going to have a greater chance of catching more because your traps are the only ones here. So hopefully that's the case. I mean, we've had some rough trips, unbelievably rough weather this year. Normally we're sword fishing really all through November, December, January. We had extremely rough weather. Really limited us being able to get out sword fishing, and we had to pull the traps in that weather. My son said he felt like the guys from Deadliest Catch in Alaska of some of the days. I mean, we had some days out here 35 miles an hour, gusts to 40. But today it is the best day that we've had all year since we set the traps. Our first pull in October was like this. Really no wind at all. No waves, just a beautiful day. So we're gonna bring you along. Hopefully we get to catch some crab and show you a day in the life of commercial stone crabbing. Usually you can tell how the day's gonna go by the first few traps. So we got 5 of them right here in this line. We will definitely know how it's shaping up. After these first few traps, and this guy's empty. All right, and then get that in the front. So it doesn't look like we're gonna win by a shutout. First trap is empty. But you know, that's been the nature of the beast this year. Just really slow pulls. Starting off here pretty shallow. We're in 6 feet of water now. The rest of the traps are gonna be deeper. 10 to 15 feet. But yeah, we've had a lot of trips. I mean, just so you guys at home are wondering, you know, to come out here, we spend anywhere between $300, $350 on fuel. We're spending $100 to $150 on bait per trip. And for the bait, we use cowhide and pig's feet. Now we're just doing the last baiting that we're doing because we got 1 week left. I got one guy in there, no claws. We got 1 week left. So on the traps that we're gonna pull and leave, we're gonna go ahead and put bait in those so that they have bait for the last week. But so you're looking at $400, $450 just in expenses for bait and fuel. And that's not factoring in, you know, maintenance. Every time we go out, we factor a cut for the maintenance of the motors, boat insurance. It's extremely expensive to keep a boat running and maintain it, especially when you're using the boat as much as we do. The more you use it, the more things can break. So we like to really try to average a claw per trap. And obviously I'll show you guys when we get some crab here. But the crab is classified into four different types of sizes: medium, large, jumbo, and then colossal. And obviously, you know, the claws, you can't count it, you know, he's too small. You can't count it, you know, and say, hey, we got 100 claws. It's really what matters is the weight. And obviously the size of the claw. If you get, you know, if you get big jumbos and colossals, they're obviously a much higher price per pound than mediums and large. So obviously everybody wants to get the bigger ones. But if you're wondering why stone crab is so expensive, you're gonna see why today. They definitely don't have the numbers like lobster has. And this year was a phenomenal year for lobster. This guy's caught a bunch of lobster and one of the slowest years for crab. But this is why it's so expensive. It is a tremendous amount of work and the catch rates are very low. And obviously the lower the catch rates are, the higher the price on the market will be. Oh, I see some legs in this one. Bunch of crabs, but all too small, except for this guy right here. So there we go. Our first claw, and it's a medium. See how small it is in relation to my hand. We will bring it up later and show you when we get one of the bigger ones. So that's a medium. The colossal claws are almost 4 times the price per pound than those mediums. 4 traps in, 1 claw. Not off to a great start. We'll see when we get into deeper water. These shallow spots have been really, really good, especially at the beginning of the year for us. They have been phenomenal. Nothing, big old goose egg. So what my son is doing now is he is opening the traps. We're putting the ropes inside, and these are all going back, but he's emptying out all of the pig feet bones that are in there. Going ahead and dumping that back so we don't bring them back home and wind up with 50 gallons of pig bones. But if you haven't seen any of our other videos and you're wondering, you know, why we use pig's feet, so crabs, you know, they're scavengers, and pig's feet have a tremendous durability, and they take a really long time to rot, and they have that smell. So commercial stone crab is done with pig's feet and with cowhide. So a lot of the recreational guys, they put a lot of fish heads in it. We'll start now over the summer. We'll save a lot. We don't have a lot of space in freezers to fill up a whole freezer for, you know, the whole summer until October of fish heads. But fish heads work very, very well. The only problem is that they only last a couple days in the trap and then they're all disintegrated and gone. We're gonna steam over here to the next line. All right, let's see if this new neighborhood yields some crabbies. Oh, Nelly. So this is not looking good. Remember I said you could tell by the first few traps how the day's gonna go. I'll tell you what, it's not looking good so far. Go to the front and finish in the front. Yeah? No. Kind of take the knife and cut that off and throw it in the water. Do it in the front. Do it in the front so I can pull the next trap. So we could keep the momentum going. Because today when we get back, we have to, buddy, do it in the front. When we get back today, it's a lot of work. I mean, every time we get back, we've got to go ahead and cook the crab. We go ahead and I also separate it before I take it to the market. I separate it by the sizes so I know how much I'm gonna get for this trip and keep track, you know, of our expenses. So that takes a while depending on how much crab we have and clean the boat. But today we've got to offload all these traps. We've got a lot of work today. So we're trying to move quickly so we don't turn this into an 18-hour day by the time we're done. Another goose egg. Oh, you have the scissor up there. Oh, I'm already driving to the next one. So if we got anybody at home that's thinking about starting stone crabbing and you're wondering what you need to do, the very first step is that you have to have a commercial saltwater products license, an SPL, and you have to have a restricted species endorsement. And then once you have that, and they don't issue that out, so easiest way to get it is to find a commercial fisherman that you could work with and get, I think it's $5,000. Once you get $5,000, they sign off on a cruise share for you that you worked with them, then you can go ahead and get your restricted species. And then all you got to do is find somebody who is selling the certificates, and then you could transfer them over to your name, get yourself some traps, and then you could go ahead and start. Here we got a crab, and this guy you can see has no claws, so the claws are already molting and growing back. So in a couple years, he will be a legal size, have some legal size claws that we can harvest. So 2 lines in, 1 claw. So what I'm gonna do, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move here to our next line. How much space we got up there? The bow's getting pretty full, so normally, you know, when we're setting traps, we don't have anything else on the boat except traps. And obviously we've got the bait buckets today. We've got them on the boat. It's taking up space. We got our cooler. I think we could get the 34 on here, the 35. It's gonna be packed though. We're just gonna have standing room. There it is. All right. This line has 4 left in it. We've lost a bunch of traps this year, getting run over by other boaters. And this line here has done pretty good for us. We moved it here a couple months ago. Oh God. And it has been performing pretty well. You're gonna know it from the first trap. So while we're driving to the next trap, I'll do a little breakdown here so you guys get an idea of what our day looks like. So got up at 4 o'clock this morning, connected our GPSs. I don't leave them connected on the boat. Connected the GPSs, unplugged the extension cord. Had I had a Red Bull for breakfast, and my son a Mountain Dew, and we went, got gas, got sandwiches. We were at the marina putting the boat in the water at 5:30, and today, because it's such a nice day, it's just, I mean, I've never seen the marina at 5 o'clock in the morning how it was today. There was a line to get your boat in the water. Put it in the water there, 5:30, parked, and then started our commute out here to the first trap. It's like an hour and 15, hour and 20-minute ride out here to the first trap. Let's see what we got here. I think we got a good one here. All right, so 2 claws here. Almost forgot what a crab looked like. So 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up. It usually takes us, obviously depends on how many traps we're moving. So every time we come to pull, you know, I keep a log of every trap and how much each trap is catching. And we're constantly moving traps. Every time that we come out, we're moving underperforming traps to new areas. Some we're scouting and some we're extending areas where we've been catching to see if we continue, you know, to catch if we extend the lines. But anywhere between from dock to dock, 8 to 14 hours has been, you know, kind of the time. Obviously the sea conditions, when it's really rough, it is a nightmare out here. But we're pulling them by hand. If we had a winch, a trap puller, we would be done much quicker. But those are really expensive and they really tear up the boat. So, you know, we're running charters out of this boat. We don't want to mess this boat up. But if we continue to expand with our traps in the future, we want to have a second boat, a workhorse that we can use. Save those pig's feet. That we could use with a trap puller on here. If we had a trap puller, we could probably pull 400 traps in one day. So we know that we could expand up to 400 traps and know that we could take care of it in one day and really won't impact what we're doing with charter fishing and really all the videos that we're making for YouTube. We could still do it, but so you're talking 8 to 10 hours, probably about an hour and a half in the morning. I'm sorry, 8 to 14 hours, hour and a half in the morning. And then on a normal day, by the time we get back, take the boat out of the water, take it home, you're looking at another 2 to 4 hours of work that we've got to do. So very long days that we put in to pull in our traps. And really, there's not any commercial fishing that you're doing for any species that's going to be an easy work. All of them are extremely tough. Look at that little triggerfish. All right, save those 2 pig's feet. So yeah, there's nothing easy about commercial fishing. It is a very hard way, very tough on your body. A lot of mental stress because, you know, when it's slow like this, the only thing that as the captain and boat owner that you're thinking about is how you're going to cover the bills for the day. So, but we do it because we absolutely love it. So guys, off to a really slow start, but I will tell you, we are going to pause the video, give you a little sneak peek of what this looks like. We are about halfway, almost halfway, pulling up the traps that we're gonna load on the boat. So we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep pulling them up, and then we'll bring you guys back when we're pulling traps so you guys could see kind of that normal operation of how we pull the traps. But we're gonna go ahead and steam over to the next line. We're gonna pause the video and we're gonna bring you back when we're doing some regular pulling. All right, guys, so we are back. The boat is loaded with traps, and we have been pulling traps, and it is, I got the sun in my back. Let me turn here. It has been a very, very uneventful day. We have like 30 claws only, and we're down to, I think we got about 40 or 50 traps left to go. So we're gonna record here on this line. This line here is 12 traps out of 15. We've lost a lot of them, like I said earlier, with getting run over by boats, but this line traditionally has done well. So we would like to save our, nobody wants to see 8 hours of pulling empty traps. So hopefully this line comes through. Grab it. Where you?
You didn't tell me we were playing right now.
All right, we're gonna take 2 on that one. He didn't know that we were doing it. We're doing it. All right, it's action. So like I said, we got 12 out of 15 that we started with in this line, and we've experimented, man. We've put traps on the inside, on the outside of it. We've extended the line through the year. We just happened to land in a spot here that crabs like when they're coming through. I don't know. So let's see what this line does. Starting off with the first one with nothing. And so what we're doing, guys, is different than what we were doing at the beginning of the day. Bait and buoy is we were just picking the traps up. So he was opening them, taking the bait that was in there that was still good out so we could use it in the other traps, and then we were loading the boat. Now we're pulling. We've been pulling, and so we're lifting them up, we're rebaiting them. Drop it, and these will be picked up next week. We've got a beautiful, beautiful day, and probably the coolest thing that we've seen is we were getting here to the beginning of this line, and there were 2 turtles mating. We were able to see them. It's not often that you get to see turtles mating, so that was a pretty cool sight to see. Now what would be even cooler is some guy that's got some legs in there. And we got one. Let's see what this guy looks like. Ooh, there's several. So grab the tongs so we can go ahead and show them this guy. Take a look at this bad boy right here. So very, very nice specimen. All right, so that's 2. And another nice one right here. 4 claws, that one's too small. All right, so 4 claws. And remember what I had told you guys earlier at the beginning. I mean, if we could get 1 claw per trap average this year, we would be in heaven. It's been that slow. And I was hoping that with all the lobster traps out of the water, we would see a really good pull. And what we're doing, guys, if you haven't seen any of our other videos, that we were recreational crabbing at the beginning of the year with my wife and the baby, or when we were setting the traps, is that we've got each one individually marked on the GPS so that if they get run over, we have a chance of trying to be able to get it with a grappling hook. We've been very lucky. We had a lot of them that were cut off that we were able to retrieve, but we still have a bunch that are missing them. We can't see them. The water has been so murky with the bad weather that we can't see the bottom. Here we go, baby. So this is, if they were all like this, we would be doing extremely well. Oh, so here's a crab, guys. And we'll show you, she's pregnant. You can see the eggs right here on the bottom. So we're gonna let her go. That is the future and sustainability of this fishery. Well, we got one claw, and this one is also pregnant. We're gonna go ahead and release her so they can have babies, and my kids can enjoy eating stone crab. They want to do it commercially, recreationally, but that resource will be there for them to enjoy. So it's good to see the pregnant crabs. We're actually making pretty good time today, and that's because all the traps are empty. We just pull and keep rebaiting and dropping. But you know, we've got, like I said, I think we got like 40 or 50 left, and really, you hit 20, 30 traps with crab and it could change your whole entire day. We really gauge it, go and drop it. We really gauge it by, you know, a 5-gallon bucket. So we're putting them in a Yeti. We get that thing full. We got about 28 to 32 pounds in there. And we are still below the halfway point. Drop it, but we're still hopeful. We are still hopeful. I mean, you know, it's very weird. There's time, I mean, we got, our traps are probably spanning like 22, 23 miles tip to tip, all of them. And there's plenty of times that we come out, we don't catch anything on the northern end of it. It's dead. Sometimes the southern end is the really good one. Sometimes it's the middle. You never really know until you get to the end what your day's gonna be like, because it could shape up in the last few traps. Another pregnant one. Egg-bearing crab. We'll let her go. Oh man, there's a few in here, bud. Grab the tongs. That guy's got one that's probably good. Ooh, this guy's a feisty guy. That one looks like one. Maybe not. So, 3 in that one. But I mean, you see, if we start doing something like that, where you start getting 2 or 3 in a few traps, it really changes everything around. So one of the things I didn't tell you guys, crab season, if you're wondering, if you haven't seen, and we got new viewers, crab season, we set the traps on October 5th. Currently, those are the current regulations. And first day to market that you can harvest crab is October 15th. And then the season runs all the way through May 1st. We will have all of our traps out by the 29th, and then the 30th we'll be cleaning the boat, doing maintenance to it, and then we're jumping on to grouper season, which kicks off May 1st, and we will be going out on the opening weekend of grouper. Drop it, and hopefully we can get the groupers to cooperate, and we will bring you guys along, and we'll show you kind of what that's like. Completely different, you know, sport fishing than commercial fishing. It's definitely a lot more of a relaxing day for sure. That's not a good sign. This guy is not where he should be. So usually it means somebody pulled it. But we've had some pretty strong winds last week, so she could have shifted. I haven't seen any that really have been shifted, and that thing feels heavy as hell. So if they could all be like this line right here. Look at this, man. Grab the tongs. Don't touch that fish right there. It's poisonous. And look at the size of this. Nice jumbo claw. That one might have 1. That's definitely too small. All right, so 2. But at least it's good to see all of the crabs in the trap, you know? So far, the performance of this line has been amazing compared to what we've been seeing all day. Let's hope this keeps going. Get at least cover the gas from this trip. That's our biggest expense is the fuel. Fuel prices are through the roof right now. Nothing. Unfortunately, that one was robbed. So that's the problem when we have these nice days. We gotta get a tie wrap on that. Fortunately, we got a lot of folks that come out here and don't respect, and they poach the traps. So we put a zip tie on it, on the lid, so if you open the lid, the zip tie is gonna break. Really this is not a prevention method, but more for us to know. And then I log it here in my notebook, drop it, and if I got traps that are in an area and they keep getting robbed, I move them, because I'm not gonna leave traps for somebody else to come and take the crab out of it. It's right here, bud. See any legs? No? Two little itty bitty babies, and this one's also robbed. That's a bad sign, because once you have somebody that comes across your line and they pull a couple and they've got crab, drop it. It's tough, they just keep going straight down your line. Now I can see the tie wrap on that one. So. Oof, a bunch of little ones. Nope. So 6 crabs in that trap, and none of them were legal. Guys, I'll tell you, if you want to get started recreational crabbing, we did a video at the beginning of the crab season this year. It's in our stone crab playlist. I'll drop the thumbnail picture of it here so you guys can see, but it walks you through, if you are in Florida, all the steps that you need to do to go ahead and get started recreational stone crabbing. You can do it with your family. It's lots of fun. Drop it, and you can enjoy some delicious stone crab. We're coming up to the 12th one now in this line. And what I'll do, we've got like 20 more, and then the last line has really been performing well also. We'll bring you along on that line, and if we start pulling the other ones and we see, yeah, these are all too small. If we see that it's going well, we'll go ahead and turn the cameras back on so you guys can get a little bit more look of it. But this is kind of the gist of what we've been doing all day. We'll record that last line, and we'll bring you along on that one. Hopefully we do a little bit better on that one, and that line saves the day. So I will let you guys know we're here in the last line of 10. We pulled the first one already, but I didn't have the microphone on, so we have a total of 52 claws so far. Go ahead and drop it, and we are hoping that we do pretty decent in this last line of 10, so we can cover our fuel bill for the day. Doesn't look like we're gonna make any money, but you know, commercial fishing is like that. You can't really look at it from a one trip to one trip basis, just because there's going to be days that you knock it out of the park, and then there's going to be days where you finish in the red. The key is at the end of the season to finish in the black, and thankfully we are in the black for the season, but it always hurts when you have slow days like this. Oh man, we're getting tired. We got some crabbies in there. Egg bearing, too small. But hopefully today we've given you a peek of what it's like, you know, commercial stone crab fishing or stone crabbing. And like I said at the beginning, if there's somebody who's watching, who's thinking about doing it, and you need to know where to get these tags, there's a bunch of people selling them. Drop it. On if you go on Facebook Marketplace, you'll see there's a bunch of people selling tags, and we already got our tags for the 24-25 season, because the season starts again this year in October. And so when you go to buy them, you fill out the trap transfer request form, you pay the seller, and they're gonna give you all the tags, and they still have their number on it. But what happens is that you're gonna get, you send back, you have to send, right now it's a tax, they tax you 15%. So if you buy 100, you have to send back 15, and then you keep the other 85, and then FWC, when you send your payment, they're gonna send you a letter which has that other person's number which you purchased them from. And what you do is you carry that letter on the boat with you, and then when you get stopped by FWC, you'll show them that letter that those tags are yours because you purchased them, and it'll say how many you purchased. Grab the other, where's the other measurement right here, so we'll show them how we measure. We've got it on this little trap table here. And so what happens is you have to connect the crab claw on this bottom joint right here. And if it, I'll put it on the back side so you can see it. If it stays underneath that gauge, the claw is good. If the claw were to go underneath there like that, it's too short, and you can't harvest it. So guys, if there is somebody out there watching and they, you guys want to go ahead and start and you have questions, feel free to send me a comment, and I'll do my best to answer everybody back, right away when people write me comments, and definitely point you in the right direction if you have any questions. So you could get, if you're interested in starting, drop it. We got some good specimens here. Grab the next one, buddy, so you can take a look at this guy here. Both claws are good. And guys, you are allowed to harvest both claws if both claws are legal. Oh no, here's an egg-bearing crab. You can see the eggs right here on the bottom. And those, you cannot take the claws off of the egg-bearing female, so we're releasing her. I got another one in there so that she could safely have her babies and make more stone crabs for future generations to come. All right, guys, we are cleaning up the boat, getting ready to head back. We did a little recounting. We miscounted. Ooh, we're in some shallow water here. We thought we ended up with 60. We actually ended up with 72, so a little bit better than what I thought we did. Still not a great day that's gonna light the world on fire, but we might be able to go ahead and break even and cover the expenses. And right now, at the end of the season, it gets even slower. So we're gonna go ahead, get this boat, I want to say on plane, as fast as we could safely navigate her, load it down with traps and steam back so we can go ahead and take care of the rest of the stuff. But thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you learned something today. We brought you in our world of commercial stone crabbing for the day, and you guys got to see a little bit about what stone crab fishing is all about. And you kind of know now when you see all the work that goes into it, and really the quantities that the fishermen are getting, why stone crab is so expensive. But hopefully you guys learned something. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go ahead and link that video, our Stone Crab 101 video, at the end of this video in case you're interested in recreational stone crabbing. But we will catch you on the next one.